أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ودخل معه السجن فتيان قال أحدهما إني أراني أعصر خمرا وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه نبئنا بتأويله إنا نراك من المحسنين قال لا يأتيكما طعام ترزقانه إلا نبأتكما بتأويله قبل أن يأتيكما ذلكما مما علمني ربي إني تركت ملة قوم لا يؤمنون بالله وهم بالآخرة هم كافرون واتبعت ملة آبائي إبراهيم وإسحاق ويعقوب ما كان لنا أن نشرك بالله من شيء ذلك من فضل الله علينا وعلى الناس ولكن أكثر الناس لا يشكرون يا صاحبي السجن أأرباب متفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله أمر ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. So we are inshallah starting Surah Yusuf, ayah number 36. And in the last lesson, at the end of the last lesson, we heard that Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam ultimately was imprisoned for his own protection and because of the problems that his handsomeness, his beauty was causing society, and the fact that he was again and again being put to trial. The people of the time thought that the best thing to do was to isolate him, and that's why they put him in prison. So this is where the story starts today, and while he was in prison, two men came to him and they said that we've had dreams and we want you to interpret those dreams. So ayah number 36 is where that starts off. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَدَخَلَ مَعْهُ السِّجْنَ فَتَيَانِ. Two young men also entered the prison with him. And according to certain riwayat, Suddi, he says that the reason that these two were imprisoned was because they were suspected of trying to poison the king. So because of that suspicion and that accusation against them, they both had been put into prison. So they said to Yusuf alayhi salam that one of them said, Inni arani a'siru khamra. I see myself that I am squeezing wine. Squeezing wine means that I am squeezing grapes which will ultimately be turned into wine. So this was the first dream. According to some Mufassirin, they say that the people of Amman, meaning the people of Jordan, they actually call inab, meaning grapes, khamr. So the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used this word, that he was squeezing wine, according to the terminology or the dialect of Amman, it would be correct to say that the translation is that he was squeezing grapes. Otherwise, in normal terminology, in Arabic, when you say khamr, it means alcohol or wine. So if you take it from that perspective, it means that he was squeezing grapes that would ultimately be turned into wine. So he sees this in his dream, and he tells Yusuf alayhi salam that this is my dream, that I am squeezing these grapes to be turned into wine. وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه. The other one, he said that I'm seeing in a dream that I have bread that I'm carrying on top of my head, and birds are pecking at that bread. نبئنا بتأويله. Interpret this dream for us. Interpret these dreams for us. إنا نراك من المحسنين. Indeed, we regard you as a person who is from the muhsinin, the people that bestow favors. So the word muhsinin is being used here, and the fact that they regard him as a person who is good and who has good attributes, and the fact that this ihsan is something that everybody recognizes. Whether a person is a criminal, bad person, he's in jail, murderer, but if a person does ihsan towards somebody, he will recognize and appreciate that ihsan, he will recognize and appreciate that good. So even though these people were criminals or accused criminals, they were in prison, but they saw the good that was in Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, they recognized it and they appreciated it. So this is something we learn from the verse that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word muhsinin. Indeed, we regard you as from the people that do ihsan. There is one opinion that these two, they had not actually seen any dream, but they wanted to simply test Yusuf alayhi salam just by making up a story and fabricating a dream and asking him to interpret it. So this is again one opinion. While we are on the subject of dreams, there are three types of dreams that a person gets, and not every dream has a meaning. Many people, they think that they have a dream and they take it very, very seriously, that I saw something in my dream and it must have a meaning and I need to ask somebody about it, and they go around asking the interpretation of dreams. So dreams can be of three different kinds. One is a dream that is related to one's own psychology. Okay, so a person, for example, he's having a hard time at work and the manager is giving him a hard time. So he dreams about his manager firing him or overburdening him with work. So he has dreams or nightmares, you can say, about his manager giving him a hard time. So this is because this thing is weighing on his mind. It's something that is something that is bothering him. So he's thinking about it. So he's going to have the same dreams while he's sleeping. The second type of dream is the dream from the shaitan, and that type of dream is a person, for example, he sees nightmares, he sees jinns, he sees scary things, he sees him murdering other people, he sees erotic dreams of the opposite gender and so on. So these are the dreams that are from the shaitan. And the third type of dream is a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that dream, usually it's a very vivid, a very clear dream which a person remembers when he wakes up, and more often than not he is able to work out what the message was according to what's going on in his life. Okay, so the Prophet ﷺ, he said that the dreams of the Muslims are 1/46 of the wahi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning the wahi, it finished with the Prophet ﷺ being the last prophet. There is no more wahi to come, but this one sample of wahi still remains amongst the humans, and that wahi is that possibility that a dream may be from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that to keep in mind. Not every dream has a message, not every dream is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but usually if that dream is very clear, it is vivid and it has a message for you, for the most part you will be able to figure out what that message is. And usually these dreams will occur before Fajr time and not after Fajr. If it's after Fajr, then usually it should not be taken into consideration. Before Fajr time is when those dreams with meanings will occur. So in any case, these people, they came and they said, we've had these dreams. Whether they fabricated the dreams or not, there are two opinions about that. So then Yusuf alayhi salam said, قال لا يأتيكما طعام ترزقانه إلا نبأتكما بتأويله قبل أن يأتيكما. So Yusuf alayhi salam, he didn't just tell them the dream. He didn't tell them the meaning of the dream straight away. He thought this is a good opportunity to give them da'wah and call them towards Islam. So they already have become close to me, and I should not let them go and let them continue in the shirk and the kufr that they're in. I need to avail of this opportunity and make sure that the fact that they appreciate my ihsan, they appreciate my manners, they should understand why I have these manners and why I do this good. It's not simply because I'm a good human being, but because this is something that is part of my teaching, the fact that I am a prophet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I have a message for them. So he decided that he will not only give them the interpretation of the dream, but also he would give them the message of Tawheed and the message of Islam. And he wanted them to get a further proof that he's not just a regular human being. Okay, when a person interprets a dream, it could be right, it could be wrong. By chance, it could be correct. Any person can interpret a dream and it could possibly become true. But he decided to show these people that it's not just an art of interpreting dreams that I have. I'm also given specific knowledge that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said to them that I will tell you the food that you're about to eat and the food that you're about to be served today by the prison guards, the food that you're going to be given, I'm going to tell you about it. So this fortified within them, strengthened within them the belief that Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam is not just any person, he's not a normal person, he is a very special person, so he must be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, قَالَ لَا يَأْتِكُمَا طَعَامٌ تُرْزَقَانِهِ إِلَّا نَبَّأْتُكُمَا بِتَأْوِيلِهِ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَأْتِيَكُمَا. He said that whenever any type of food is about to be given to you, I will be able to tell you about it before it comes to you. So to strengthen their belief in him that he's not a normal person. ذَلِكُمَا مِمَّا عَلَّمَنِي رَبِّي. So he didn't take that power to himself. He didn't say that I have superpowers or anything like that. He said, this is what my Lord has taught me. So that Lord that taught me, that means that I want you to follow the same Lord. I have that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I want you to have that same connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنِّي تَرَكْتُ مِلَّةَ قَوْمٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ وَهُمْ كَافِرُونَ. I have left the way of a people that did not have iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they denied the akhirah, and they were denying and disbelieving in the akhirah and the hereafter. وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. So the question is that Yusuf alayhi salam, he's born in a household of prophets, right? Yaqub alayhi salam is his father, and he's a prophet. He's born in that household. So how is he saying that I've left such a people that had no iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they are denying the hereafter? Why did he say that? So what it means is that I didn't adopt any type of kufr or shirk at all. So not adopting it means that I have left it. Not adopting it means that I have left kufr and shirk. I have not made it part of my life. So that means I've left it, and it's not something that I've even touched in my life. So inni taraktu, I have left the way of a people that have no iman in Allah and they deny the existence of the hereafter. وَاتَّبَعْتُ مِلَّةَ آبَائِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. And I followed the way of my forefathers, Ibrahim, Ishaq and Yaqub, in that order, right? Yaqub alayhi salam was the son of Ishaq alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salatu wasalam was the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and Yusuf alayhi salam is the son of Yaqub alayhi salam. So once the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was asked, Man akramun nas? So at the end of the hadith, he said, Yusuf ibnu Nabiillah, ibnu Khalilillah. Yusuf is a prophet, he is the son of a prophet of Allah, he is the son of a prophet of Allah, and he is the son of Khalilullah, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, meaning 4 generations of prophets in this family tree. So the fact that he said that I've left people in the previous ayah, it means that I didn't adopt any type of shirk in my life. Not that he was a disbeliever, na'udhu billah, and then he came back to Islam. Not that he has never touched any type of shirk in his life. That is what is meant. So he says that I followed the way of my forefathers, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, and Yaqub alayhi salam. مَا كَانَ لَنَا أَن نُشْرِكَ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. And there was no chance that any one of us could make shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this again strengthens what I just said earlier, that we didn't commit shirk at all. We didn't touch shirk at all. None of us committed shirk. ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا وَعَلَى النَّاسِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. This is the fadl and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon the people, upon us and upon the people, but most people are not grateful. So why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the word وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ? Because the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent prophets time and again to guide humanity and to guide them to the truth, to guide them to the straight path, this is the biggest reason that we should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He didn't just leave us to find our own way. The people that were left to find their own way, many of them started worshipping the sun, many started worshipping the moon, many started worshipping fire, and many started worshipping idols. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam to guide them and tell them that what they're doing is wrong. So the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept on sending prophets, this is the biggest reason why we should be grateful. So that's why Yusuf alayhi salam says that the fact that Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam came, this is the big fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us and upon the people. But most people, they are not grateful for this blessing that was given to them. And then he says, and this is now after he's fortified this belief in them that Yusuf alayhi salam is not a normal person. He has a high status. He's coming from a lineage of prophets, and he's not touched shirk in his life. At this point, he starts to give them da'wah and starts to invite them towards Islam and for them to leave the shirk that they're committing. He says to them, Ya sahibayi sijn, أَأَرْبَابٌ مُتَفَرِّقُونَ خَيْرٌ أَمِ اللَّهُ الْوَاحِدُ الْقَهَّارُ. O my partners of the prison. And he says it in such a loving way. Sahib means companion. And any person who's a companion of yours is called sahib. Sahibul safar, sahibul fasl, sahibul madrasa. And even your partner, your domestic partner in Arabic is known as sahib. Okay? So he used very endearing terms to get them close. And he said, O my partners of the prison, O my companions of the prison, أَأَرْبَابٌ مُتَفَرِّقُونَ خَيْرٌ. Different and many gods, are they better, or one supreme powerful God? Is that better? So this is again when a person has so many things in his mind, so many distractions in his mind, he cannot work. So for example, when a person is focused on the job at hand and he's focused on one job, he can do that job and he can focus on it and he can do the best job. If his manager gives him 5 or 6 different tasks that have to be completed by the end of the day, then his mind is confused, is going everywhere. The same thing applies to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person, when he believes in different gods, he thinks, which God am I supposed to talk to now? Am I supposed to talk to this God or this God or this God or this God? This confusion, it messes up a person's mind. So better, why not, to worship one supreme Allah that you can turn to on every single occasion, and He hears you and you talk to Him and you confide in Him, and that connection is unique and focused. So this is what this ayah means, that mutafarriq and different gods and confusing gods, are they better or one powerful supreme God? In another verse of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَوْ كَانَ فِيهِمَا آلِهَةٌ إِلَّا اللَّهُ لَفَسَدَتَا. In this world, if there was more than one God, then there would be corruption on the earth. There would be turmoil on the earth. Why? Because one God says, okay, we need to make it rain. The other God says, no, we need to make it sunny. And arguments would take place between them. Okay, so this is one point of Aqidah that we should remember, that if somebody asks you the question, okay, what if there were many gods and they agreed to do something together and they stayed united? Okay, if one says, One says, okay, let's make it rain today. The other says, okay, let's have it rain today. And then one God says that, okay, let's make it sunny today. And the other one agrees, okay, let's make it sunny today. So the answer to this question is that the fact that this second God is agreeing with the first God, this is not what a God is about. A God cannot submit to another God. The fact that he's submitting is a sign of weakness, and weakness cannot be in a God. So even if they were agreeing with each other, so still that cannot be correct, because one is weak and the other is strong, and weakness cannot be part of a God. So even with that agreement, that it cannot be that gods can be more than one. It can only be one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he goes on to say, he continues his da'wah to these people and says, مَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَّا أَسْمَاءً سَمَّيْتُمُوهَا أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ بِهَا مِن سُلْطَانٍ. You have not been worshipping except names. Just names. You've just made up names, and you've just made them up and you started worshipping them. Okay? Where did these gods come from? Where you see these Hindu gods, and you see one with a monkey head and one with an elephant head. Where did they come from? Mythology. Made up, fabricated. No history except human invented gods. And this we can, wherever there's idolatry, wherever there's shirk, all of these things are fabricated. So Yusuf alayhi salam is saying that illa asma'an sammaytumuha. These are names that you have made up, you have fabricated them. Antum wa aba'ukum. You and your forefathers did this. Ma anzal Allahu biha min sultan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never sent any type of proof that these are your gods. Allah is the one who is your God. He's the only one worthy of worship. And inil hukmu illa lillah. Allah says that the decision and the judgment is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for these gods that you're worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amara alla ta'budu illa iyyah. And He has commanded that you should not worship anyone except for Him. Him and Him alone. Iyyah means only Him, nobody else. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. That is the straight and the established religion. That is the straight path. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But most people, they're not aware. They don't have the knowledge. And again, the knowledge is what leads to Tawheed. True knowledge is what leads to Tawheed. If a person doesn't have knowledge, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word ilm here. True knowledge makes a person recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recognize His oneness, recognize Tawheed. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. The ones that have the most khashya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the ones who are the true ulama. So Allah says, وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Most people, they don't have knowledge. They don't have knowledge, therefore they don't have true and complete Tawheed. That's why they worship gods other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With that we finish, and then next week the first ayah will actually talk about the interpretation of the dreams of these young men. Inshallah, we'll discuss that next week. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us tawfiq to understand and practice what has been said and heard.